80% of junk removal businesses fail. That's the cold hard truth. In this video, we're going to go over the ways to make sure that you are not one of those 80%. I'm Godbold with JRA, the digital marketing agency for $1 million plus junk removal and dumpster rental businesses and those that want to get there. You can check us out at junkra.com if you'd like more information on our services. Okay, so let's talk about it. 80% of junk removal businesses fail. Most people in the industry do not want to talk about this, but that's the cold, hard truth. They don't want to talk about why it actually occurs. We're going to talk about why it occurs and what we can do to actually prevent it. If you don't want to be part of this statistic, listen up to this video because we're going to break down what I've identified is the 6 largest reasons junk removal companies fail and how you can avoid them. All right, number 1, poor pricing. This is by far and away the most common. You see it all the time on Facebook Marketplace or Facebook groups. They go on there and somebody says, hey, I've got these 3 items. It's a mattress, it's a couch, it's a love seat. I want it removed. And some jackrabbit will get over there and they'll say, hey, I'll do it for $50. That's not a serious business. It costs more than that to get rid of it. That guy's going to go pick the stuff up and dump it on the side of the road or whatever. So what happens is people see that and they think they need to compete with that guy. What they don't realize is that guy is going to get some jobs, but there are a lot of customers out there that aren't all about cheap price. They want to make sure the stuff isn't going to get dumped on the side of the road. They want to make sure that you're not going to come back and rob them later. They want to make sure you're going to show up on time. They want to make sure that you're going to be able to remove the stuff without damaging their home. They'd love if the stuff would be maybe donated or recycled after it already leaves. They really value that. To them, it's worth more letting somebody like you into their home than letting some crackhead into their home that's going to be $50. The risk isn't worth it to them. The savings isn't worth it because we're going after clients that are higher, middle income to high middle income, good property values to high property values. We're not going after people with absolutely no money. A few of those types of people that have money will use the crackheads. A lot of people that use the crackheads are the people we don't really care to service anyway. So what happens when you underprice your jobs? Guys, your crews and you are working just as hard, but your margins are razor thin. You're not really making a whole lot of money. That's really easy to get discouraged. You're constantly fighting to cover expenses. You've got truck payments, disposal fees, labor, or fuel costs that have to be paid. If your margins are too thin, you're not going to be able to do that. And one of the largest things is you can't invest in growth and you're unable to invest in marketing. You need marketing and you need to be able to pay for marketing to get your ideal clients because your ideal clients are going to Google, and to compete on Google, whether it's Google Ads or the Map Pack or SEO, is going to cost money. Whether it's your time and you learn it, maybe you, especially on the Map Pack, maybe you get some results, or you're hiring somebody to do ads and SEO in the Map Pack. It's one or the other. So if your margins are razor thin, you can't even afford to acquire customers. So how do you go about fixing it? That's the big thing here. Number 1, you should have a minimum job price. I think $150 nowadays is a great minimum job cost. So that means if you're going to do a single item pickup, it's $150. We're not doing $75 pickups anymore. I think that's very important. Pricing full truckloads in most areas of the country at $700 plus. Maybe there's a few areas out there that are just a lot cheaper. You can't get $700. And there's certainly areas where you don't want to be $700, you want to be $1,400. Those really expensive areas that are out there. So as a general rule, 75-80% of the country, $700 plus is going to have you covered. You want to charge extra if there's extra labor involved. So this is something a lot of people don't do, but it's a good practice to have. Allow for 1/2 hour, so 30 minutes per 1/4 truckload. That means if you're doing a full load, you got 2 hours. Anything above that, charge something like $120 to $150 per hour for a 2-man crew. Basically 60 to say $75 per hour per person on anything in excess of that, and that'll help you kind of hit your margins right. And if it's a job with a lot of trash bags, you decide you use trash bags to bag stuff up, have a per trash bag charge that you tell the customer, hey, however many bags we use here, it's going to be $1 per bag. And try and reduce using bags. You can use trash cans a lot of times or totes and actually dump them into the back of your truck. That right there is going to help you out a lot in terms of kind of maximizing your profitability. So set the right price and charge extra for that extra time. One thing you have to be tracking here is the average job sale. You need to know what your average job sale is. AGS in most areas of the country needs to be $400 plus. 500, if you're 500 plus, you're making some great serious money. And make sure you check out the video that posted recently also on sales per payroll hour. SPPH is a big number you want to be tracking. Your AGS might dip a little bit in the slow season, December through about March 15th. You might go from a 450 job average, you might drop down to a 300 job average. It's tough to make money in those months. You're just trying to kind of make your way and survive them. If you see an AGS comes way down, slip in over your marketing on your Google Ads, reduce down your Google Ads budget. Don't stop doing it. Don't stop doing your marketing, but find areas to maybe bring down that Google Ads budget. If you're spending hundreds of dollars a day, $1,000 a day, bring it down some because you have a lower AGS. So we need to try and bring down our target acquisition cost to allow for that lower AGS in those slow seasons. 400 plus in most part of the year, that's like should be your floor. 500 plus, you're pretty damn profitable. All right, not training your team. The wrong crew will absolutely sink your business 100% of the time. A great business is going to rise and fall based on its people, no doubt about it. If you've got a weak team or you're not training them correctly and regularly, you are, without a shadow of a doubt, losing thousands of dollars every single month in missed sales and missed profits. So we have to fix that. So the first thing is we got to hire the right people. Hire first on personality, hire second on the ability, the physical ability to actually do the job. If they don't have the personality, I don't care if the guy's a world-class weightlifter, bodybuilder. You're not hiring that guy because they don't have the right personality. So hire personality first. And then make sure to show them to work on time. They care about what they're doing, attention to detail. And if they don't have those things, you can try and train them. And if it's not working, you get rid of them and you get somebody else in. Hire personality first, ability to do the job second. Hire somebody that can talk to customers and get along with your team. You want to build a great culture internally with your team. You want to build great customer service with your customers. And at least once a week, you need to be role-playing sales conversations. So your team needs to be confident in overcoming price objections. They need to be confident in quoting a $700 or a $4,000 or a $20,000 job. They have to be able to bring that number and confidently convey it to the client, to the customer, so that customer feels confident in the pricing and the person presenting it to them, and they say yes. They need to be taught how to upsell extra services. When I say that, it's not really extra services, it's extra items. When you're on site, identify an extra couch that looks old. Identify some lumber that's up in the ceiling of the garage that possibly was overlooked. Get an extra $50 to $100 out of that job than what the customer had initially called to hire you for. And very important to be able to close deals on site at maximum price. And there's definitely a method to getting this done. You want to train efficiency. Crews need to be able to load trucks fast and efficiently. They need to be loaded smartly. That way you maximize space and you can combine as many jobs as you possibly can, and you do it in as little of time as possible. That's very important on your profit. You got to hold your team accountable. If someone isn't working out, get rid of them, cut them loose before they drag your business down. Make sure you maintain a great culture. If you have somebody that's a culture suck, blow them on out of your organization. Don't even hesitate. Get rid of them. Move on. They're not here. You don't need to feel guilty about doing it. They are not adding to your team. You need to treat your team, protect your team like you protect your life. Protect your culture like you protect your life. Train your team like your life depends on it, because it does. Your livelihood depends on your people. Get them trained, train them regularly, at least once a week, if not daily. Hey, if you're not tracking your numbers, you're out there flying blind. None of us are going out there and driving a vehicle without a speedometer to know how fast we're going, or a fuel gauge, know how much fuel we have, or a GPS if we're going to an area we've never been before, where we don't know how to actually get there. We're not doing that. We're not flying blind. We're keeping an eye on what's going on. Why would you run your business without tracking key numbers? It's lazy, it's stupid, and you're leaving a lot of money on the table. The junk removal companies that fail never know their real costs. They don't know the average job sale. They don't know the sales per payroll hour. They don't know their disposal percentage. They could be at 20%. That's a problem. You want your disposal percentage between 7 to 12%. So 10% is on the average. Like, you got to know this stuff. Your fuel percentage. You should be able to identify, hey, if fuel prices go up and my fuel cost goes from 4% to 6%, we got to raise prices. We got to find ways to do more of this more efficiently because we need to be at that 5% or under. You have to look at your P&L and you have to have regular KPIs that you're tracking on a regular basis. And if you do that and pay attention to those numbers, you're going to do well. So again, what are we tracking? SPPH, AJS, profit margins. And profit margins on each individual category of expense as a percentage of income. If you don't know your numbers, guys, you're guessing. And if you're guessing, I can for sure tell you, without guessing, you're going to fail, or at least you're going to leave a ton of money on the table. Number 4, you're wasting too much time on non-revenue activities. We've covered in recent videos that most of the time on an 8-hour shift, you're only spending about 2.5 hours or so doing revenue generating work. That's crazy to think about. But you have a lot of time driving, you have a lot of time at the landfill, you have a lot of time at gas station and taking breaks. So what you have to do is you need to reduce that as much as possible. Morning activities, keep to about 30 minutes or under at your shop. End of day activities, 15 minutes or under at your shop. Call customers to adjust their time slots. Generally, you want to do that the day before. It's not great oftentimes to do it the day of, but hey, sometimes you can do it during the day of and just make sure they're okay. Make sure they understand, hey, you are very flexible in this, right? Because, hey, you're just doing us a favor, but if we need you out there, if you need us out there at that normal time, hey, we will be there. Make sure they understand that, but don't hesitate to move jobs around as long as you can get approval from customers to make things more efficient, to make it where you can combine a load and to make it to where you aren't having to drive all over the place. You kind of cluster your jobs more together. Every minute, every hour you save is going to allow you not to be one of those 80% that closes down. It's going to allow you to make more money. Number 5, this is huge. This is absolutely huge. They rely on word of mouth and things that you can do that cost nothing to get jobs. To get your key clients and get as many of them as possible and to build up a great business, you have to pay for marketing. There's no way around it. You are only going to get but so large from your friends and family referring you, or from yard signs, which are it's still a cost but relatively inexpensive, or from Facebook groups or Nextdoor. Nextdoor.com. All of those things are great things to do. Like, you should totally be doing that stuff. But you need to add on the paid versions of marketing, your Google ads, great SEO, and making sure that your Google business profile is ranked as high as possible. Like, those are the things that you have to be doing to really be able to scale and grow a multi-million-dollar a year operation. Now, here's the deal. You can ink out a pretty good living by just doing the free methods. But you will become one of the 80% because at some point in time, you're going to say, hey, enough's enough. My body can't handle this anymore. I'm just sick and tired of doing it. And you have nothing you can sell at that point. There's nothing that can transfer to somebody else. You shut down the company and you become one of the 80%. So being able to get and pay for effective marketing is very important. And effective marketing, again, it's a website with strong conversion rate optimization. That is, CRO is something we provide to our clients with that have our Elevate or Dominate packages at different levels. You get a lot more at Dominate than you do at Elevate. But that's very important. If we can just increase, if we can take a site that's converting at 20%, so you're getting 20% of visitors are actually converting into a lead, either a phone call or an online booking or a contact form or a text message. If we can take that from 20% to 22%, 20 to 25%, those extra percentage points make a huge difference in the amount of money you make, top line as well as bottom line, and how much your acquisition cost is on a particular client. That really brings the acquisition cost down when we can convert at a much higher rate. Google Business Profile optimizations need to be happening all the time. You need to be very active on Google Business Profile, responding to reviews the same day they come in, making regular posts, putting in regular pictures. having regular updates or regular offers, regular events, making sure products are in there. There's a lot of stuff on GBPs that need to constantly occur to get that Google Business Profile to rank as high as possible. SEO and content marketing, huge. You need steady leads coming in from Google search. Google Ads, love Google Ads. Very expensive. Takes up a lot of money. Lifetime value is crazy high. So it gets you some Google Ads. It gets you between 3 to 5x return. Could take you 3 months or so to see that, maybe, to actually get 3 to 5x. Nobody gets excited about 3 to 5x, but you'll get excited about the lifetime value when these customers start coming back to you and they're no longer clicking on that ad anymore. Or if they click on the ad, they're clicking on a branded ad, which is a very low cost per conversion, and they're converting at like 100%. So that's going to be very, very important. Get you on Google Ads so you can get that great lifetime value. Facebook and Nextdoor engagement, it's great to do. There's groups, Marketplace, Nextdoor.com. Get on there and engage. Hey, even if you don't land very many jobs directly from people that actually post something. So earlier in the video I talked about, they posted that a mattress, a refrigerator, a couch. Somebody said $50. Like, you might not get that. But if you can engage on those forums and get people where they're consistently referring you and they're saying, hey, yeah, call ABC Junk Removal or call Junk Doctors or Junk Masters or Valley Junk Removal or Junk Luggers or whatever company you might be associated with. If that occurs, then your likelihood of not being one of the 80% goes way up. Because what happens is your really good customers that aren't actually going to go in there and post on the groups as to what they need to get rid of, they're going to start remembering who you are, because every single junk removal related post that comes out there, somebody's mentioning your name. You could be mentioned 6, 8, 10 times. I've seen Junk Doctors mentioned like 10 times. And those are people that are going to remember you. It's great branding. So you definitely need to be on there. Don't judge the success based on whether or not you actually get the job. Final thoughts. You don't want to be one of the 80%. You need to get into this business with the intention of doing it forever. Otherwise, why are you doing it? It doesn't make sense. So don't just chase a dollar. Chase a future. Every day you work right now, you should be working on your future. We all have to pay bills. I get it. 100% understand. But you need to be building a business that builds a life that you desire. You need to know your dreams, know your aspirations, turn those into goals, and put timelines associated with them and track your progress. And if you do that, you will not be one of the 80%. You will thrive and do more than you ever imagined you possibly could. It's just a matter of being professional, diligent, confident, dreaming, writing it down, tracking progress, and trying to build the best possible company. And you don't chase a paycheck. You chase building a world-class organization. If you do that, you're not going to be one of the 80% that fails. The 80% make the same mistakes over and over again. Here's what you can do, again, to recap, to avoid making those mistakes. Got to price jobs correctly, guys. Get that pricing right. You've got to hire and train the right team. You get the pricing right, you train them how to sell it. You got to track your numbers. You got to have key performance indicators and a regular financial statement, P&L you're going over on the KPIs should track daily, review them at least weekly, if not daily. And your profit and loss statements, by 10 days after the end of the month, you should have completed P&Ls, financial statements. You should go through them, you should understand them, and you should be able to recognize, hey, my numbers are off here. I need to make an adjustment. You got to eliminate wasted time. Cut your drive time back, cut your landfill trips back, cut your shop time back, cut your break time back. Really watch it. Just a few minutes savings here and there make a huge difference. And you have to market. Advertise. Be omnipresent. Be everywhere. At some point, start doing radio advertising. We hadn't done that with our business yet. We need to. We got to be omnipresent. We have to be out there where people know who we are. And it's a progression. You start out with less expensive stuff and you work your way up. So here's the deal, guys. Every one of the mistakes that 80% of these companies make are fixable. There's nothing here that is not 100% fixable. If you need help, if you're starting a junk removal business and you need help setting some of the stuff up, hey, you can check out our videos. Or if you're just getting into business and you want kind of the blueprint on getting started and you want, it's like an alternative to franchising, except it's a lot less expensive with a lot less long-term commitment and a lot less long-term cost, JRA. So check us out at junkra.com. And listen, JRA is also the marketing agency for $1 million plus junk removal and dumpster rental business owners and those that want to get there. So if you've already started up and you've already got a little bit of traction, you've got some money, you've seen some results, and you're ready to step up to the next level, check us out at junkra.com. We'd love to help. If you're already a $1 million plus company, we want to take you to 5 or 10 million. We got strategies to do that. We've done it with a lot of people. A lot of people are multi-million-dollar year businesses now. We'd love to work with you. Again, I'm Lee Godbold. Please subscribe to this video. If you would comment, it helps us out. If you found this video to be valuable, we really do ask that you leave a comment. It really helps out the algorithm. We're helping you. We just ask in return, hey, help us out just a little bit by just putting a very basic comment out there. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next video. See ya.